Hey everyone, welcome back to another Mattel Jurassic World review. Today we're taking a look at the new Primal Attack Savage Strike Charlie. So before we crack Charlie open, let's take a quick look at the packaging. This figure comes in the new Primal Attack style packaging. You got the nice sunset background with the paddock fences. You got your Jurassic World logo up in the corner. You got Owen in blue as always. And you have a little picture right here showing you where to activate the Savage Strike feature. And spinning around, you get a nice full art picture of Charlie on the back. And then in the corner right here shows you the other figures that will be available in this wave. And I am very, very excited for that Sauropelta. The Tapajera is making another appearance in this wave. And of course, we have Blue. So with all this packaging nonsense out of the way, let's crack this girl open. And here is Charlie out of the packaging. This figure is a straight up repaint of the Savage Strike Blue that we got in the last Dino Rivals wave. And I have to say, this is a really nice looking mold. This is definitely one of the better looking Raptor molds in the Mattel Jurassic World line. And this figure looks really, really good. So let's take a couple quick measurements before we take a closer look at this figure. This figure is just about 8 inches long from the tip of the tail to the tip of the snout. And about 3 3/4 inches tall to the top of the head right there. The color scheme on this figure is definitely much more movie accurate than the Attack Pack version that we got. And speaking of that, here it is right here. You can see with these two figures side by side, it is a night and day difference. This Savage Strike version is definitely far superior looking than the Attack Pack version. I do like the Attack Pack Charlie. I think it's probably the better of the other Raptor Squad figures that we got in the Attack Pack line. But the biggest difference for me is, if you notice on this figure, the toe claws are painted. And on any of the Attack Packs, the toe claws are never painted. And I really think that just takes away from the overall look of the figure. So definitely, this version is far superior to this one right here. So let's zoom in and take a closer look at this figure. You can see the main body is just cast in this dark green color. And you have some darker green stripes covering the top of the head, neck, and back, and stopping about the midpoint of the tail. I kind of wish the stripes did continue a little bit further down the tail, but whatever. It is fine the way it is. I think it is just, like I said, much better looking than the Savage Strike version. And even on the jaw right here, you can see the jaw is cast in this cream color, and there's this, see if my camera can kind of pick it up. If you look at the picture on the box, there's a lot of cream coloring along the neck and stomach, and it's really subdued on the final product. It almost looks like a light green paint has been applied for the coloring for the underside of the neck and stomach. I still think it looks great. I kind of would prefer the cream color on that prototype picture, but this is still a very beautifully painted figure. The eye is painted in a nice orange color, and the pupil is green because there is no black printed on this. That is just the green plastic, from the main body showing through for the eye right here. I kind of wish they did take the time to add a black pupil. I think it just would have looked better overall. And spinning around, you can see yet again, I am another victim of the badly printed eyes on these figures, especially with the Attack Pack Raptors. I don't think I have an Attack Pack Raptor where the eye paint is not correct. You get to see it is rubbed right here. I really hope in the very near future Mattel really cranks up quality control and fixes this issue. It just seems like it's getting worse and worse. So getting back to the figure, you can see some of that nice dark green markings along the top of the head right here and along the back of the neck. It does have a pretty big sprue mark right here, which is kind of distracting. I don't know if this is a widespread thing since this figure just came out, but I'm sure people will point it out as more of these figures reaches collectors' hands. And you get a better look at the jaw right here, all that nice scale detail. I like how the jaw is just cast in this cream colored plastic. I think it just adds some nice contrast to the head of this figure. And then open it up, you can see the mouth is painted in pink with all the teeth painted in white. And moving down to the main body of the figure, you can see the wrists are pronated just like every Jurassic Park, Jurassic World style Velociraptor. The hand claws aren't painted, but I do hope at some point Mattel decides to paint the hand claws on these figures. I think they'll just look much better overall. And going on down to the feet, you can see the feet are oversized, but they're not as bad as the jumping Savage Strike figures, where those feet are just absolutely monsters. And like I said earlier, the toe claws are painted in black, and I think that just makes a world of difference. And then going up to the back, you can see more of that dark green striping along the figure. If I can just focus in on that. And articulation wise on this figure, the articulation is definitely much better on this figure than the Attack Pack version. The mouth can open and close. The head can rotate 360 degrees. It can look up that far, look down that far. The arms are on a hinge, so it allows the hands to swing out. And even though the arms are tied to the Savage Strike gimmick, the arms can move independently. You can get them into different positions. The legs are on a pivot that swing in and out to help with stability. The legs can move almost 360 degrees. They just get tied up by the arms right here. And this little seam along the tail is actually an articulation joint. It does allow the tail to rotate if you want to put your tail into different positions. And here is the scan code before I forget, for those of you that want to scan this into their fax app. And since this is a Savage Strike figure, it does have a Savage Strike feature. There's a button along the back right here that you press that activates its claw slash in action, so you can have it tickle to death your own figure. Alright, let's move on with some comparisons. Here it is with some of the other Primal Attack figures, the Colovosaurus and the Ornitholestes. And I'm pretty happy that, these first few new Primal Attack figures, they're not coming two-toned like a lot of the figures in Dino Rivals were, especially near the end. I felt like there was just a lot of two-tone figures. Even though this Charlie kind of looks two-toned, you got that nice coloration along the jaw and that lighter green coloration for the neck and stomach. So yeah, definitely very happy to see that there are more paint apps on these new figures. And here it is with the new Primal Attack Control and Conquer Carnotaurus. This is definitely one of my favorite figures in the new line so far. You can see these two figures look really nice together, especially side by side. And lastly, here it is with the rest of the Raptor squad. This is the Battle Damage Blue and the Attack Pack Delta and Echo. And you can see this Charlie just looks so much better than these Attack Pack versions. All the Attack Pack Raptor squads are just basically two-tone figures, and I'm sure it's a pretty sure bet that we're probably going to be getting the other two members of the Raptor squad in this Savage Strike mold, which I really hope, because I think they will look far superior than these Attack Pack versions. And you know what? I used to think the Battle Damage mold was probably the best Raptor mold in the line. This is my first time having this Savage Strike mold. I didn't buy the blue one because, really all I need is like one blue for my collection. But I have to say, now having this mold in my hands, I'm probably going to go out and get the blue version of this mold, because I just think it is probably the best Raptor mold in the Mattel Jurassic World line right now. It definitely looks so good, especially with these two right here. Forget about those two-tone messes to the side. The only thing that kind of stinks is, all of us pretty much probably bought the Attack Pack versions to make our Raptor squad, and now that we're getting, far superior versions in the Savage Strike, we're going to have to buy the figures over again. For me, it's not that big of a deal. I'm just probably going to use these figures now for repaint as whenever they come out with them. I'm not saying that they will. I'm just saying, if I was a bet man, it's probably going to happen. So, final thoughts on this figure. I really like this Savage Strike Charlie. It has a much more movie-accurate color scheme, and it is vastly superior to its Attack Pack version. I am definitely a fan of this Raptor mold. I think it's one of the best looking in the Mattel Jurassic World line. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I got this figure off of Amazon. I don't think it's available right now at the time of this recording, but the link is in the description if you want to check and see if it's available. I know these figures have just started popping up in Canada, and I'm sure these will show up in the States before Christmas. So let me know in the comments if you think this version is better than the Attack Pack version. I'd love to see what you guys think about that. And if you're liking the reviews on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. The channel just passed 900 subscribers, and I'd love to see it hit that 1,000 subscriber milestone before the 1-year anniversary of the channel, which is sometime in the middle of January. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously, and it's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.